Another pretty darn good day trading today. We have last week, because we had a little extra volatility, maybe a little better, but a couple of days last week, but on balance, not a bad day at all. Okay, we started at the middle of last week thinking about a position trade that would take the market down to this high volume number. I still think we have a shot at getting there, but markets don't go straight down. So we had our high at 82.50. We had a lower high on Friday. Then today we've got a lower high. It's I think it's 71.25. We did manage to make it down and get stops below 45. And here we sit now trading at 59. So the market's going to get some retracement. But you can see right now that these volume nodes are where the market is playing. And if you look at where the market needs volume, it needs volume here. And then it needs volume all the way down right there. And I think if we don't break it out to new highs, I think that's what's going to happen. So you're going to look at an 1800 minus market, maybe an 1875 plus market as things shake out, depending and swung by the news. This morning we started out wanting to sell our morning rec. How do we do on that? That was given at 645. We wanted to sell 69s to 71s and then 74s to 76s. And that was a call that was in your hand around 7 or so central. The high looks like 71.75, 71.50. And the low, they got stops below 45, looks like 44.25. So this was our sell recommendation. Our buy recommendation was 60.62. And then 55.57. The 61.62 produced a trade back to 71.50. And you can see that right in here. The market went a little lower. They got stops below 60s, but the market did go up. The 55, 57 area right here in G and F bounced the market, but didn't get, I think 60 basically held, and it was a straight sell down. So we have a pretty unusual day. This used to be called a neutral day. They try to take it up, they can't. They try to take it down, they can't. We've got a trading range, so we don't have enough on the buy side to take us higher. We don't have enough on the sell side to take us lower, and that usually yields a trading range on the following day. We have the FOMC news on Wednesday, which tends to hold the market in a trading range. We have the non-farm payroll numbers on Friday, which tends to hold the market in a trading range. Lots of news this week: GDP, ADP employment, unemployment on Friday, FOMC announcement on Wednesday, and all of that tends to hold us in a trading range. So big picture stuff, maybe it's a 40 minus, 70 plus market until the news shakes out. If the market were to close right here, we'd be trying to sell 60, 62, and then we'd be selling 65, 67. And that looks reasonable right now. On the buy side, we'd be trying to buy 50, 52, and 45, 47. And that's the way that we will play it for the overnight session. Tomorrow's news: consumer confidence comes at 10 Eastern. They're looking for 83.6. And it'll be holding in there. I don't know if it was going to be higher or lower off of that number, but it won't change things. So our trading today in the E-mini, first assessment in the morning worked fine, and hopefully it'll be the same way tomorrow. Okay, on the note this morning, We were sellers 31s to 3, and we were buyers 25 to 29. The low was 24. The high was 3 for a while. We made new highs late in the afternoon on weakness in the E-mini, but we caught it right. We do love to trade the first half of the session. Much easier in my opinion. So we're looking at our F1 screen. Lower high, lower low says find a place to sell it. That would fit with the tendencies we have post an auction week. Sell it, then buy it back during auction week to support the market. So this one says find a place to sell it. This time frame, this screen. Looking at the F2 screen. Got a P pattern and a sideways to lower market, which means short covering. We've got sellers 24.04 to 24.10, and we've got buyers against 23.24. So this morning we started out wanting to sell 31s to 3s, and you can see through I period that held. And we wanted to buy 25s to 29s right in here in this area, and you can see that that held this morning. We had our retest failure set up here, and in the ZA period we had a retest failure set up. So if the market were, the market did close, so we don't have to worry about that. Right now we're selling failure to take out 4 to 8. And then we're going to sell 11s to 15s. Don't think we have a chance to get up there. On the buy side, we're going to leave it the same, 25, 29 for the overnight session. And then 21 or better for buy 2. Quick look at the ZB. My favorite contract. This morning in the ZB, we were trying to sell 23s to 27s. The high is 27. Again, the neat thing about trading the financials, and I know everybody froths at the mouth over gold, crude oil, the E-mini especially. They don't play games. There's all the liquidity in the world. People are willing to buy and sell from you in size at every price point. So it means you got to be right. Now, when they do play games, it's during the auctions. And we know what the dealers are, how they're going to play that. So we started off this morning wanting to sell 23s to 27s. And our buy was 9 to 13. And then 1 to 5. And the low is 6. So 9 to 13 was our buy. Not perfect, but pretty damn good. If you think about it, being able to make that call at probably 6:50 Central Time in the morning, then have it materialize on the screen just as envisioned. The knob spread did come in some today. So on this close right here in the 34.20 area, we're going to sell failure to take out 24.28. On the buy side, we're going to leave it 9 to 13. and then 1 to 5 for buy 2. Same spot. The fundamental news is late. Comes at 10 Eastern tomorrow. So probably will not be a factor. Okay, on gold this morning, we wanted to sell 1303 to 5. And we had 2 buy zones. We had 95 to 97, and then we had 90 to 92. And we caught the sell perfectly. I mean, it just couldn't have been any better than that. And on the buy side, they blew through 95, 97. We didn't have a chance to get long there, and it stopped just below 93. So our second buy zone held up pretty well. And the market traded back to 99 out of that area. So we did a very, very good job in gold. Couldn't have been much better. And our sell was 3 to 5. And our first buy was 95 to 97. But you can see C period just blew right through it. Then we had a 90, 92 buy. And it just stopped just above that. So pretty damn good trading for gold, and you had that in your information in your hands early enough to profit from that. We're at 97 right now. I don't see any difference in 03 to 05, sell 1. Now let's make it 1300 to 03 for sell 1. We'll make it 5 to 7 for sell 2. On the buy side, we'll leave it 90 to 92. Then 85, 87. We're going to lean against that high volume area. If you wanted a resting limit buy, putting it down there at 85.50 would make some sense based on structure. Okay, on crude oil this morning, we wanted to sell 101.50 to 75. The actual trade, the market stopped at 35. Did not trade through, so the trades based on our setups, on our prescribed entry rules, triggers, etc., our methodology, the trade would have been made from 115. 101.15, and the market did trade down to 101, 30 to 40. We did get the direction of the market right off the bat. When they don't quite reach our sell zone, the market is weaker than I think it is. Actually yields a stronger trade. So the sell came in A period, and the market traded down to below 140 after lunch, and it came back off of short covering. So right now we're at 101, so let's make 25 to 50, sell 1. And then 75 to 102 for sell 2. Things get hotter in the Ukraine and Russia. This market will be higher, so you'll be taking the trades with that in mind. 125 to 50, buy 1. Then buy 2 will be 99.75 to 100. Jeff, you've been quiet today. Have a big busy weekend? An exhausting weekend. Your former employer. That's wild. Do some name dropping. Did he run that like the city of Chicago runs their affairs? If so, he probably just following the leadership. Okay, we had this morning 70 to 80 as a sell in the euro, and you know the basis of my selling idea was I don't know why in the hell it rallied as strong as it did. Maybe the fact that the United States sanctions and the European Union sanctions on Russia weren't all that great. Who knows? But it did yield one hell of a sell. We had a 30 to 40 buy, so we caught both sides of the market. So we're going to lower it just a little bit. We're going to make it 25 to 35. Let them get stops below the overnight session low. Then we're going to make the buck to 10 for buy 2. But pretty hard to call a market much better than we did. We'll make it 65 to 75 for sell 1, and then we'll make it 90 to the buck. I'm going to give it room to the upside. I never see these rallies coming like this. At least I'm consistent, right? But it's just one of those things, folks. Do not have the intimate knowledge of this contract like I have with the E-mini, the note, and the bond. Those markets have been, I've been listening to the siren song for a hell of a long time in those two, and know how they trade. Hey, that's all I have for right now. Just a sec.